Hi, I'm Audrey Pendleton-Chow, and this is FCC TV, where we highlight the programs that FCC has funded and the organizations behind it. On today's show, we have Jennifer Jones from the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance talking about the difference between the Fitchburg Cultural Council and the Alliance, the age-old question, as well as talk to us about their arts and culture directory of North Central Massachusetts. It's a really cool directory that it's a physical copy that you can pick up at a local coffee shop, as well as available online where there are live links where you can just click on the website of these artists and find out information of how you can commission them for work, as well as the different cultural institutions in our area, whether that's the Fitchburg Art Museum or the Russian Icon Museum, or even Curious Escape Rooms. First, let me talk to you about Fitchburg Art Week. Wednesday, April 27th through Saturday, May 7th is Art Week. So there are a ton of events happening and you'll want to check them out. They're happening at FSU, at the Fitchburg Art Museum, River Styx, Magic Treasures, the Upper Common, the City Hall Lawn, Taco Tequilas and Zapatas, the Boulder, and City Hall. I really want to highlight specifically Art in Bloom coming up, the Lights Festival, the Fitchburg Paint Parties, and the Spring Bazaar. I think there will be more, so you'll want to check those out. Next, I'm here with Jennifer Jones from the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance. Jennifer, how are you?
I'm doing good.
That's awesome. So can you explain to the audience, I mean, I think you and I both know, and I think you used to be a chair on the Fitchburg Cultural Council, so you probably know best. What is the difference between the Fitchburg Cultural Council and the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance?
Yes, I was the chair of the Fitchburg Cultural Council back in 2000. So it was a long time ago, but I really appreciate what your team does, because it is, it's a lot of work. So thank you for that. And also for helping to fund our project that I'm going to talk about. But I would say the main difference between the Alliance and the Council is that the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance is a 501c3, private nonprofit, which means that we are not, we unless we apply for grants, we are not funded. The state does not fund us unless we receive a grant. However, you are a nonprofit, but it is through the municipality, so that the state, what's wonderful about the Mass Cultural Council is they distribute funds to more than 300 cities and towns across the state, and those funds are expressly used for the arts and humanities and sciences, and it really gives places like Fitchburg opportunities to engage the community in providing some wonderful projects and in the arts and culture. So it's a very incredible organization, and that the Alliance has partnered with many times, and that we've received funding from you. And our logo is the pinwheel. I know we're going to show that later on, but our logo is the pinwheel. So that's another way to kind of separate us. So if you see Fitchburg Cultural Alliance, if it doesn't have the pinwheel, then it's probably the council. I hope that helps.
This is true. You guys have more of a purple color scheme, and ours is more orange and teal.
That's true. That's right. Yep. It has a specific branding. You're right.
Yeah. I think you hit it on the nose. The main difference is that the Cultural Council is a municipal committee, and our main function is to distribute art, science, and humanities grants, whereas the Cultural Alliance is a private entity, and we're not actually related, even though many members of the Cultural Council and the Alliance have participating in both organizations. You guys have a little bit more freedom being a private entity.
Yeah.
And yeah, you guys are doing some great things. Can you tell us more about the Arts and Culture Directory of North Central Massachusetts?
Yeah. Well, we started this last year, and we thought with COVID really putting a damper on all kinds of things that are going on, particularly performances and openings. And I mean, I think the arts have suffered greatly because of the shutdowns over the last couple of years. And so the Alliance, you know, one of our main missions is to promote the arts and culture and our member organizations and individual artists and businesses. And so we thought, you know, it has been a long time since anyone has done a directory or just exclusively focusing on arts and culture in this region that's outside of Boston and Worcester. And so we thought, and with Tamar Russell Brown of Sitka Creations, as well as myself and Jesse Olson, the president of the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance, thought, you know, why don't we, you know, see if we can't come up with some kind of a magazine of some kind that would do that. So that's how it all started. And we were taking a big risk because we weren't sure how it would go over. And it was the first time we had done something like this. And so but I think our first directory was very much a success. We had a lot of individual artists featured, as well as the organizations. And this is not just Fitchburg, although much of what's in there is Fitchburg. We have listings from Ashburnham and Clinton and all the surrounding communities, really, Leominster, Lunenburg. So that's why it's called the Arts and Culture Directory of North Central Mass, is we're trying to include more entities from those areas. And most of the people, the organizations or entities that have placed an ad with us or listed, they're small. They're small organizations, and they don't have their own marketing department like other larger organizations do. So we're here to sort of fill in that gap a bit to help them be able to place an ad at an affordable price and at the same, and get the exposure that they need.
That's awesome. That's really great. So when did this start?
Well, when we came, and we also, I have to say, it was an idea too that the art stewards were thinking about, because we got a small startup grant funds from them to get ourselves going. And then we also applied to the Fitchburg Cultural Council in the first year, which were very generous to us. The Fitchburg Cultural Council, as well as the Gardner Cultural Council, helped support us. And so and that got us started. And we just, started putting out, on social media and mail. We did a mailing out to everybody. And so, to try to get people to sign up, to be in the magazine. We also felt, and that it rather than just being like a directory, because it's, I think of a phone book, and I know that there are no longer phone books, but I always think of that when I hear the word directory. It's more than just a directory. It has, we have some stories in there, some editorials about what's going on in the arts. So for 2022, our main focus for 2022 is actually the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance and our new project on Main Street called Main Street Studios. We're also going to feature the Fitchburg Historical Society. There'll be some information about the college and their things that they're doing with the theater block, which is very exciting. So we wanted it to be in a magazine type format where we had the listings by category, and then we also had the the ads from the individual artists or businesses and organizations.
That's awesome. Do you have a physical copy on hand with you?
Well, what I'd like to do, and if we can work this out in our new way of putting the show together, I'm going to show you the flip book version. Now, one of the things is that I'm going to hold up. Here's the hard copy of our 2021. Okay,
Lovely.
and the hard copy is really beautiful. It's just absolutely gorgeous, full color, and you know, you can imagine how expensive it is to print. So we thought the best way to make sure that everybody gets to access this, I mean, these were distributed to all of the people that placed ads, obviously, in their organizations and their storefronts, but we also distributed it to places that were open to the public, like the library, a couple of coffee shops. We brought it to a couple of banks. I mean, there were you know, quite a few places that there were quite a few copies, but we knew that that's not enough to, you know, we wanted people to be able to have access at any time. They can save. So we had a flip book version created of this, and that's what I want to show you, because I think people you know, need to really see what this is, because this you'll be able to share on your desktop and you'll be able to share with other people. So I'm going to bring it up. Okay,
I love it. Let's do this.
Yeah, we'll see how this works. Here we go. Okay, hey, does everybody see that? Has it popped up?
It is up.
Great. Okay.
Walk us through this.
Yeah, I'm gonna so now I can walk you through it a bit. Of course, the 2022 edition will have a different cover. So I'm taking, but it's very much going to be similar in the same format. Okay, so I'm going to flip through, and you can see how easy it is. It's like the page is turning. We have our advertisers, our sponsors, table of contents, a little bit about the Alliance, and also about the directory itself on these two pages. But it's very easy to flip through. You can zoom in so that you can read it like a book, and it feels like a book. And here's one of the articles from the Fitchburg Art Museum. And then we have ads from artists, local artists. And then here we have the local listings by category. So we've categorized this by performing arts and visual artists and recording studios. And, you know, we have them under, tried to group everything under categories. What's really unique about this, having a flip book version, is that there are live links, so that while you're looking at it, if you're interested, let's say you're interested in, we'll just look at the first one, Body Art by Shara Osgood. So if you'll notice, see how, I don't know if you can see it, but
yeah, I think we can.
Yeah, it lights up. So here's the website. If I were to click on that, it would take me right to her website, where you could see more of her work. It also will take me to her email so that I can contact her directly, and any other information that she wanted to share in her listing. So throughout this catalog, we just have all kinds of examples of artists that you probably have never heard of or want to know more about, and we'll just keep going through it. You know, we have one of the things I think which is wonderful. We have a lot of organizations, like the Women's Caucus for Art is in here. We have the Russian Museum, the Museum of Russian Icons in Clinton. We have the Leominster Art Association and its Historical Society. So we have a lot of smaller groups too, that again, this is a nice way for them to advertise. annual directory. It only comes out once a year, but they get listed in here, and the digital version is live for the entire year. I mean, this is still live. If anybody wants to access it, you could just go to our website, which is www.fitchburgculturalalliance.org, all one word. So anyway, yeah, and I'm just going to flip back through to the end because I know that where time is just about up, but you can see it's beautiful.
It is.
Here's another article, and this is about the, B.F. Brown. So, so it talks about some of the latest projects, and
there
so
it is. There's the page flipping sound I was looking for.
Yeah, you heard the page looking. Yes, and I also want to say that the quality of the magazine is beautiful. Sitka Creations did the layout and for us. They did a fantastic job. The resolution is beautiful. We're very proud of it because I think it speaks really highly, not just about the Alliance, but of all of the participants in this directory. And so we're really pleased. And at the very end, which is I think very important, we have music venues like Hollis Hills Farm is here, all of our advertisers and the page for their ad, so that if saying, oh, I wonder if so-and-so is in here, you can look up alphabetically and find the page that ad is on. So yeah, so we want to please, and we really want this to become something that everybody, not just a cocktail table magazine, but something that you'll save on your desktop and you'll be able to refer to.
I think it's so neat that they have live links on this online flip book that you can actually, as you mentioned, Shara Osgood, one of our newest council members, you can click on her website and it'll open up the tab. You don't have to look at the page and be like, all right, body of
exactly.
And along with her email address, because it's so easy to miss a letter here and there.
Yeah. And we're going to have a better way of tracking the data in terms of the number of clicks, like who actually has seen the digital version. We know because of the number of copies that we have printed and the number of people hopefully that have opened the book up and have seen it. But we have a way now of embedding the Google Analytics into the new issue that we're doing so that we can really track how many people are actually clicking on it and looking at it. And that's going to be valuable data for us because we share it all over the social media platforms and to groups throughout the year. I mean, that's a nice thing about it being an annual book is it's shared, throughout the year. And the more that those of you who do, have the directory, have seen the directory, you can then share it with someone else that you know. So, I encourage people that when you do see this directory, and it's slated to be printed in June, this coming June, by the 15th of June at the latest, when you see this, to share it and save it on your desktop. And it's something that, even if you need to find tickets at the Stratton or something, you'll see the link, and it's kind of I think a shortcut to a lot of places, as well as enlightening.
That's awesome. Yeah. So where can people pick up a copy specifically, like at Strong Style Coffee, at any of the hair salons? Where do you know, other than, I know you mentioned the public library, where are other places that people can specifically know, like, all right, if I go here, when it's distributed, I think you said June 3rd through 10th is when they're going to come out.
Yeah, we're hoping, as soon as we can, if we can get it out and ready by June 1st, that would be awesome. But I say June 15th, just in case, because, you always, never know with the printing things, how it's gonna happen, but
Yeah.
at the very latest, but there'll be a big announcement, obviously, when they get printed. Yes, places like Strong Style Coffee. I mean, there's another coffee place, Stackers in Lunenburg. There's, you know, we also have had a couple of our sponsors, Enterprise Bank and Rollstone Bank, will have copies. You know, it's the physical copy is difficult to get to the right places and to keep them there, because it's a year long. It's an annual edition. So like one of our vendors called us and said, we're all out of, after the first 2 weeks, they were all out of their copies. And so, you know, we give all of the advertisers a minimum of 20 copies each. So already you've got more than 1,000 right there. So, so we're hoping that we can print more this year. There'll be a QR code that we'll put up on our websites too, as well as the link. I mean, I don't know, we tried sending out postcards to a lot of different people with a QR code, so that if they ran out of the magazine, like we had quite a few copies at the Chamber of Commerce. And so when they ran out, I said, well, here, we don't have any more of the printed copies for you, but we have this postcard that tells you a little bit about it, but with the QR code, so that you can at least, you know, download it right on your phone. So, and it comes up really, it comes up beautifully on your phone. It's a very, it's a wonderful image and easy to see. So that's kind of what we're doing. And also just in the surrounding area, you know, we want to make sure that, you know, the Clinton and you know, places that are outside of our area, that are the Gardner, have enough copies too. But it's difficult to keep everybody fresh with copies. So that's where the digital copy is. So I wanted to highlight that, because that's where I think most people are going to, you know, to click on.
Yeah, that's awesome, because, you know, I own Curious Escape Rooms. We have a copy in our lobby, but people don't tend to spend a great amount of time in our lobby to read through the entire catalog while they're there. But it's a great thing, like if there's a QR code that like they can, you know, just scan that and print it out later.
Yeah, I agree. And also too, what some people have done is, you know, like if it's in their lobby, like, you know, let's say it's a doctor's office or something, you know, it just says our only copy, please don't. Because, you know, again, they're beautiful and they're expensive to print, but at the same time, you know, we don't want to give them away to the point where they end up in the trash can when you leave.
Right. No.
So we're very protective of the hard copies, but we're hoping to be able to print more than we printed 1,000 and then another 500 of the postcards. So we're hoping that we can do maybe at least 1,500 of the hard copies this year. We'll see how the funds are coming in and what we can do. So.
That's awesome. So it's a real push for the for people to utilize that online flip book, and definitely you're gonna want to check it out. I'm assuming that you can always just go to the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance website and just click on that tab for the directory and just click through. It's really satisfying. I don't think Zoom is doing it justice. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, it's great. I think hopefully you will check it out, the 2021, and as soon as we get the 22 version printed, it'll go right up on social media too, and it'll go up on our website. So
awesome. Well, I haven't been checking the time. I'm sure we are out of time.
I know, and I'm sure you'll have to cut a little bit.
We shall see what happens. But Jennifer Jones, thank you so much for being here today and talking to us about this awesome project. I believe the deadline to, if you want to be part of the directory is coming up. Is that right, Jennifer?
Well, we're going to extend it, I think, to May 1st. And I have not made that public yet. I am now. We're going to extend it an additional, we're going to extend it an additional 2 weeks because we're getting a lot of calls in now. And also we've got also to give people more time to get their artwork in and their advertising. And so yes, so please, if you're interested, again, go to the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance website and it's all there, everything. There's an online submission form that you complete. It's really, really easy. And then chances are it's going to be me that will get back to you.
Mhm.
And we'd love to, and we've got quite a few new businesses and artists and groups this time around. So
awesome.
it's fun. And I think to save all, the previous editions, because they're not event specific necessarily, to kind of, there are some that are, many of them, of course, have come back for the 2022 edition, but it's very nice to see some of the new, the editions that have come on board to advertise also. So
That's awesome. Yeah, and as a participant, I've noticed that it's very affordable for an individual or business that wants to be part of the
Right.
directory. And it's for the whole year, and then you have the online flip book, and people can directly go and find out more from you, and they want to commission work from you directly. I think it's a really great project, and thank you for doing that.
Yeah. There's one more thing I want to add, and that I think is important to say, is that for many individual artists, particularly, or musicians, and is that this, even a small listing is so beneficial because they can tell somebody, oh, have you seen my listing? Or check out the directory. It's like, it's like when you write a resume, you put down all of the, the presentations or the concerts or the art shows that you've been involved in. Well, this is a way to even, to show that you are an artist that is listed in this magazine. And yes, I think it gives everybody that credibility, that their that their contact information, et cetera, is there. So we're very we feel that's something that artists don't get they can't afford to do it otherwise. So we're really offering a good I think an opportunity here that they shouldn't pass up.
Absolutely. I think so too. All right, Jennifer, thank you so much for being here today.
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome. And we'll see you next time.
And again, thank you for the help and the funding you've given us. Just wonderful. Thank you so much.
Well, that about wraps up our show. Make sure to check out the Art Week events and sign up for the different Fitchburg Cultural Council opportunities. Keep those in mind, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.